Okay, so I made a scraper video earlier, so I thought I might as well make a video of some of the points I found. And these two cases are from my first and second years. Pretty much all of these are from the second year. I think just this guy is from the first year. And this is kind of a mix, but a lot of these are from my first year. This ugly little guy right here, all beat up to hell and everything. A weird, funky little tip on it. That was my first actual point ever found. It was in a field. So that's kind of what kicked it off. And then I found this while I was still only hunting fields. And it would have been a absolute monster of a really nice point. I think that's probably a Logan Creek. It's real ground there in the base, real thin, just really well made. I'd like to see that hole. Let's see, this is another field find, and it's kind of a funky little dude, but it would have been a nice one hole also. And this triangle, Madison, or I don't know what you want to call it, if there's even Madisons where I'm at. But this little triangle point, that's from a field. And then the rest are all from rivers and creeks, I believe. There's Cheddar. Alright. This was my first really good point. And it's kind of what got me started into just the river and creek walking. I mean, I knew you could find good stuff on the river, but I never had. I didn't know how much time and dedication it would take. Turns out a lot, but there's a lot of reward in it. This is an interesting piece. Been told that it is a fluting failure from a Clovis. It's got a reverse hinge fracture. When I found it, I thought it was from a preform, but I didn't. I wouldn't necessarily would have said that it was from a Clovis. I can't get it, but I don't know. It's hard telling what it really was and what it would have been, but it's a cool piece either way. It's a broken one that would have been a hellacious point. Been told by some people they thought it was maybe broken Scott's Bluff or something to that effect, something out of the Cody complex. So that's always cool. And a big old beveled knife here. Real good twist to it. Kind of grainy, kind of Smoky Hill Jasper material. This little guy. This was my first paleo. And the river had just rolled real good. And I went and walked this great big old bar, and I found a couple broken pieces. And a couple days later, I thought, you know what, I'll go check it again, because I think there's more. And there was my footprints, somebody else's footprints, and then I found that guy that we had both skipped over. It was already uncovered and everything. We just missed it, so I'm pretty tickled on that one. My first drill I ever found, or mostly whole anyway. Got a little ding off the ear there, but I'm not crying about that. Got a cool little quartz pocket on that. Got some these little twin Pelican Lake looking points. And that is a really, really nice point. I was real excited when I found that. That was pretty early in my river walking days as well. Not that you can see it in my hand. There's the twin. The only thing really different about this one is it was made on a flake. And this one's a lot thinner because it was made on a flake. But I mean, they're darn near identical. Those are pretty cool. Super nice points. It's just big ol' honking broken corner notch. Shame about that other ear, because that sucker's thin too for its size. I like flaking on it. We got all kinds of good stuff. This one's kind of a turd point, but I like the material. It's neat. Some other nice material. This is a little Angostura. Really well flaked. Nice river polish on it. I like him. Here's another Angostura. This one was pretty cool. I found it while walking with my wife, and both my daughters were there with me. And I took a picture of them right after I found them. My daughters sitting there holding it. So that was pretty cool. And the bluish gray part is actually a patina on there. It was that kind of caramely brown color you see there at the bottom. And find a few pieces patinated like that. Sometimes they'll get real blue and real pretty. This is more of a grayish, but that's a sweet point there. I like the heck out of that one. My second drill looks like a big old nail. It's neat to find them whole. That don't happen every day. This one's a turd, but I like the bullseye. This one is awful. It's just awful. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's made out of Cortex. You can barely see the flake scars on it from being worn in the water, but it's not even the actual flint. It's just Cortex. I don't even know how they made it, honestly. It's pretty strange. I like this point too. It's a real nice, real whole point, no damage to it whatsoever. I like that one. And of course you got this big ol' honkin' turd, which is not well flaked or anything, but it's a big one. Thick old base on it. Another just nice little, I don't know, almost like a Harahay kind of knife. I don't know what you'd call it. Steep bevel on that side, and they're just starting to bevel it on this side, but you can't hardly tell. I like that one. And then this is probably one of my favorite points that I have. I really like this point. You can kind of see it's almost got like a long, skinny little bullseye type deal in the center of it. And it's just, the flaking's just friggin' beautiful. And this side, you see it's really well flaked too. And then they actually left some of the Cortex on there, some of that blue-gray area there. I don't know. I've been told Table Rock and a couple other things. I don't know. I always kind of thought it was some transitional paleo type point, just because of the workmanship and the sides here just ground slick. But yeah, that's definitely top 5 favorite points there. Alright. Over here, just some turds. This is neat. Corner tang. I found this. I did not know that it was even possible to find a corner tang in Nebraska, but that is, there's no mistaking, that's what That's what that was. I mean, not whole, but still pretty cool, I think. This little guy found down by Dodge City, Kansas. Went down there to visit a friend, and they got a river down there. It was completely dry, but me and the wife went and walked for a couple hours and found this little guy. Somebody told me it's made out of basalt, which I have no idea. I suppose that's right. Looks like it. Far from an expert on that. Alright, well, that would be your 1 and 2 points. Alright, thanks guys.